Today's Star Wars video may include spoilers for the final seasons of Star Wars The Clone Wars and Season 1 of Star Wars The Bad Batch. Please be warned. The Clone Troopers are easily one of my favourite aspects of Star Wars. Such a fascinating creation which has a heartbreaking outcome in the end of the Clone Wars. But what is their story? How did the Clone Troopers come to be? Today we discuss how they were made, their intentions, and their true use in the systematic termination of the Jedi Order. My name is The Wanderer, and today we discuss the Clone Troopers of the Galactic Republic and Empire. The Clone Troopers were created by the Kaminoans of Tipoca City, at the request of the deceased Jedi Master Sifo Dyas, who was murdered so the Sith may secretly infiltrate this secret army bred for the Republic's defense in an upcoming war that Sifo Dyas sensed within the Force. The clones are originally based off a template given by a Mandalorian bounty hunter named Jango Fett, a highly skilled warrior. Jango Fett was hired by Darth Tyrannus to become the clone template for the Republic. At the time, this seemingly was an innocent request, but it was the beginnings of a much more sinister plan. Jango Fett's extreme combat skills was present within these clones, albeit with training from highly skilled bounty hunters and Fett himself, though his rather disloyal and uncooperative behaviour passed on to these early clones as well. This made the first batch or so incredibly difficult to train for the bounty hunters and the Mandalorians that trained them, and so modifications were made to the genome the clones were bred from. These changes included accelerating the growth of these soldiers to make them fully grown men in just short of a decade, as well as making them more loyal and willing to follow orders. As we all know,
good soldiers follow orders.
The clones had a fairly basic ranking system based on their marking colours, before the introduction of different legions, though the ranks were carried on without the colour markings. These ranks range from the standard troopers with no ranks or markings, to commanders with yellow markings. Sometime between the Battle of Geonosis and the Battle of Christophsis, the colours were taken from the ranks and instead issued to corps, battalions, and legions of clone troopers. Some of the more well-known legions include the following: the 501st Legion, led by Anakin Skywalker, the 212th Attack Battalion, led by Obi-Wan Kenobi, the 91st Recon Corps, the 327th Star Corps under the command of Aayla Secura, the 41st Elite Corps, usually seen under the command of Luminara Unduli, and the 104th Wolfpack Battalion, led by Plo Koon. Special forces of clones also existed, like Advanced Recon Commandos, otherwise known as ARC Troopers, Clone Commandos, and other lesser known ranks as well. Advanced Recon Commandos usually travelled in duos, but commanders of legions and some captains were trained to even become ARC Troopers with their legions. Commandos usually worked in squads of 4, and did missions that required extreme combat skill, stealth, or near-suicide missions. Clone Force 99, a squad of clones with mutations that were caused by the deteriorating Jango Fett genome and enhanced to make them beneficial to their service, were also a squad of clone commandos. The clones were first brought into service to the Republic at the Battle of Geonosis, which saw the Jedi infiltrate a Geonosian arena to rescue Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Padme Amidala from a brutal execution at the hands of the Geonosians and the Confederacy of Independent Systems. During the first wave of the battle, a large Jedi extraction team was sent to save the trio, only to end up in a large-scale battle with the Geonosians, battle droids, and the wild animals roaming the grounds. Jango Fett was killed by Jedi Master Mace Windu in this battle, which saw the Kaminoans go through great struggles to create new clones in the future, resulting in many mutations and failures in future clones, like the aforementioned Clone Force 99, or the Maintenance Worker, also named 99. After a Republic victory, the clones were brought to Coruscant, where they were fully recognized as foot soldiers of the Republic. From this moment on, the clones were to be segmented into legions, battalions, and corps, as mentioned before, under the command of a Jedi General, and were used to mop up and even retake entire separatist worlds, becoming what was known as the Clone Wars. The Jedi and their clone brothers bonded quite closely with one another, despite some clones seeing themselves and their brothers as nothing more than expendable units in the Republic's army. A majority of Jedi treat their clones as close allies and even friends, which also allowed the clones to become much more individual, making names for themselves and even customizing their armor sets with various patterns and the color of their clone legion. Despite the clones being designed to be loyal to the Republic, there were a few times where this was not the case. Clones had deserted and even bribed the Confederacy before, showing that there were definite flaws in the clones' designs. Nearing the end of the Clone Wars, a clone ARC trooper named Fives of the 501st Legion discovered a possible plot to kill the Jedi by turning their closest allies against them. When a clone trooper named Tup of the 501st shot a Jedi dead, he got very close to uncovering the truth, but was killed by another clone, Commander Fox of the Coruscant Guard. The clones were outfitted with chips inside of their heads that was meant to make them more loyal and obedient to orders. Even then, this was not the chip's only function. It was also placed there with a set of orders that turned the clones into mindless killing machines when activated. Order 66 was one of these orders, which saw the Jedi as traitors to the Republic, therefore having the clones execute them. No one saw this coming, but only a few. Chancellor Palpatine and his associates were some of the only few that knew about this, as it was their plan from the very get-go, to execute the Jedi and have the Sith rule once again. After the Jedi were terminated, this saw most of the clones lose any shred of personality they once had as individuals to become shells of their former selves. They now blindly followed the orders of their superiors of the Empire, no questioning if it was right or not, unlike some. Captain Hauser of the clone Ryloth Defense Squad had his chip malfunction for an odd reason, meaning he did not execute the Jedi nor become a mindless zombie like his brothers. His eventual realization of what had happened saw him attempt to persuade his brothers that what they were doing was wrong, to some success, with a few joining him, only to be arrested. This hints that the chips inside of the clones' minds may be deteriorating post-Order 66, leading to a possible mass defection and realization of what they had done. Before this could happen, however, the clone commandos were already in the process of training human recruits, known as TK or Stormtroopers, to take the place of the clone troopers of the Empire. Before the Stormtrooper regiment was fully integrated, however, Imperial Admiral Rampart made sure that the clone troopers and their creators were left in the past of the Clone Wars. He did this by having his own clone men aboard a Venator-class Star Destroyer destroy Topoka City, their own home. Some of the clones even expressed regret and sadness despite their emotionless and zombie-like nature post-Order 66. This event sealed the fate of the clone troopers' future. In Legends, the clones after Order 66 served alongside the Stormtroopers for some time and even trained a large majority of them, much alike the current day canon, with some injured clones and those unable to serve then being cruelly experimented on to create the first steps into the Dark Trooper program. Some clones who survived whatever the Empire did to dispose of them led normal lives, such as Captain Rex, who had his chip removed during the execution of the Jedi with the help of Ahsoka Tano, and was declared dead after the Venator he was on crash-landed, joining Clone Commando Gregor and Commander Wolf years later and living on a desolate planet with an Old Republic ATTE as a home. Cutler Quain is another, a clone deserter who was shot down on Geonosis, who led a normal life through the Clone Wars and, with the help of the Bad Batch, otherwise known as Clone Force 99, evaded the Empire's detection. This was rare, however, as clones seemingly disappeared after the Empire was done with them, leading to speculation as to what happened. Were they used in testing for the Dark Troopers? Or much like the Jedi before them, merely disposed of? We may never learn the truth. Thank you for watching my video on the Clone Troopers of Star Wars. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe for more Fallout and Star Wars content. I'd like to thank my current channel members for their generous support. Cypriot Fox, TKS Mantis, Bonk, Lovable Douchebag, Splicer87, and our newest recruit, The Useless Show. I took a look at Useless's YouTube channel, and they seem to do film and TV reviews on their channel. Check them out if you want to see some of that. You're all very generous people for supporting me the way you do, and I thank you so much. If you want an awesome shout out at the end of each video, be sure to become a Wanderer supporter today for just £1 a month. Thanks for watching, and get ready to turn those clankers into scrap metal.